So, today we're going to break down the story of a professional hitman, and we're pulling it straight from a raw film transcript. It's a really stark look into a life that's run by this strict, lonely set of rules, and what happens when that entire code just gets blown apart.
Right off the bat, we get this simple, kind of chilling introduction. There's no emotion, no backstory, it's just a statement of fact. Joe is a professional, and his entire identity is his job. He sleeps alone, he eats alone, and he's just used to it. This is his world, stripped down to its most basic, brutal function. And you gotta understand, these aren't just professional guidelines. This is the core philosophy that keeps him alive. These 4 rules are literally the foundation of his entire existence, this life of detached efficiency. And, well, that foundation is about to get shaken to its absolute core.
Okay, so let's actually dig into the code itself. These 4 rules, they're designed to do a few things. Keep him safe, keep him anonymous, and maybe most importantly, keep him from ever forming any kind of real human connection.
This is basically a blueprint for how to be a ghost. Think about it. Rules 1 and 2, they shut down any curiosity, both emotional and intellectual. Rule 3 erases your physical footprint. And Rule 4, well, that's the escape hatch. The whole system is built on one single principle: total, absolute detachment.
And that quote right there, that gets to the very heart of the mindset. This isn't just about not leaving fingerprints on a doorknob. It's about leaving no impression, no memory, no relationship whatsoever. He's supposed to be a tool that does a job and then, poof, ceases to exist.
And that brings us to the catalyst for everything, this final assignment in Bangkok. This is supposed to be it, the last job, the one big score that finally lets him use rule number 4 and just vanish for good. But Bangkok, as you can imagine, has other plans for him.
So for the very first time, the perfect system has a bug. He's in this unfamiliar territory, this city of mirrors, and it forces him to do something he never does: rely on someone else. A lone wolf needs a local, and this one simple necessity, well, it becomes the crack that shatters everything.
So how does a guy who trusts literally no one find help? He doesn't look for a partner, that's for sure. He looks for a tool, an asset, something that can be used and then just discarded. His search is cold, it's cynical, and it is 100% transactional.
The first 2 criteria, they're just practical, right? Makes sense. But it's that last one, disposable? Wow, it's so dehumanizing. But this is the only way Joe can justify breaking his own rule about getting involved with people. He's telling himself, I'm not hiring a person, I'm just acquiring a temporary, disposable tool.
And this is the guy he finds, a street-smart kid named Kong, who has absolutely no idea what he is walking into. For him, this is just a chance to make some fast cash.
And right from the jump, the dynamic is set in stone. It is strict, totally unforgiving, and completely impersonal. Joe lays down the law like a drill sergeant. There's no room for mistakes, no room for excuses, and absolutely no room for humanity.
But then, something starts to change. This purely transactional relationship, it begins to morph into something that Joe is completely unprepared for. It starts to feel like a mentorship, and those clear lines he drew, they start to get really, really blurry.
See, Joe isn't just using Kong anymore, he's investing in him. He's teaching him the skills of the trade, how to survive in this world, and this goes against everything in his code of detachment. I mean, why would you sharpen a tool you fully intend to throw away?
And there it is. That's the reason why. It's this one single moment of profound recognition. In Kong's eyes, Joe sees a reflection of his own past, a younger version of himself. And for the first time in God knows how long, he actually feels a connection, something that goes way beyond his rules. And this is where you see the first major crack in his armor. Rule number 2 flat out forbids taking an interest in people. But when Kong gets hurt, Joe doesn't just cut him loose, he patches him up. He shows a level of care that his own code says is forbidden.
In this line, this is the point of no return. When his employers confront him about his connection to Kong, Joe's response is just raw. It's possessive. Kong is no longer disposable. He's my student. That one simple phrase shows a complete 180 in his entire worldview.
So, of course, this all has to come to a head with that final assignment. The one job that was supposed to be his golden ticket out becomes the ultimate test of his now broken code and his new, unexpected loyalty.
See, up until this point, there's been this unspoken idea that his targets were, well, probably not great people. But this target is different. He's a good man, a hero to the people, even. And this forces Joe to confront not just his rules, but his own morality. He's not just a machine anymore. He's being asked to make a real moral choice.
So let's just recap the damage, shall we? We're looking at a complete and total system failure. Every single one of his foundational rules has been systematically taken apart. He's answering questions. He cares about someone. He's leaving traces. And most dangerously of all, he's hesitating to get out. Because he's not just thinking about himself anymore.
And in his world, there are always consequences. The life he chose doesn't tolerate broken rules. By showing a little bit of humanity, Joe has made himself a liability. He becomes the target, and because of their connection, Kong gets dragged right down into the fire with him.
That escape plan. Rule number 4, it was always meant for one person, a solitary exit. But how do you just disappear when you're not alone anymore? Where do you even run when you're trying to save not just yourself, but the one person you finally allowed yourself to care about?
And the story ends on this incredible line. It's spoken to Kong about the politician, but it lands like a final verdict on Joe. In the end, by breaking every single rule he lived by, this anonymous assassin has totally transformed. He's seen not as a killer, but as a good man, the very thing he was sent there to destroy. Which kind of leaves us with one last big question. What does it mean when the only way to find your humanity is to betray everything you are?